Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. It's double, yes, it's a double against Malmo, and we are back for the review of this Champions League game. 3 points for Chelsea. We are now at 9 points, and I thought, let me bring you the highlights, at least verbally, so that you know what happened, because I saw a lot of tweets there saying that it was an early kickoff and they weren't able to watch the first half almost, right? So here I am, but before we begin, let's smash that like button as well as subscribe. Just the press of a button, like I always say, along with the bell notification icon. So do subscribe and press the bell so that you know whenever Almighty Blues FC is back with a video and is live as well, right? So let's get into it, guys. The starting 11, where do we start? I was surprised. We had the first choice 3 defenders at the back along with Mendy. I know we did cover the preview and you can find the link in the description below. And we had kind of opted for Malang Sarr and Chaloba. Maybe I was, suggesting to take a risk against Malmo away, but Thomas Tuchel believed that we cannot take that risk, and he played Thiago Silva along with Chaloba and Thiago Silva along with, of course, Christensen and Rudiger. That's the first choice centre backs, right? And that was a surprise in itself. But in midfield as well, Saul did not feature. He did not feature in the game at all. That was very surprising for me, considering the last performance that he's had. But nevertheless, of course, Jorginho had a great game against Malmo in that first leg, just a couple of weeks ago, that was, right? So, fair enough, Jorginho started along with Loftus-Cheek, who greatly, deserved his place. I was wondering in recent weeks that why isn't Loftus-Cheek starting games, but here he is again starting a game. Azpilicueta started on the wing as we anticipated, as did Alonso, and up front it was Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi as expected again. For Malmo, well, Anders Christensen, their captain, and of course Andreas Christensen's namesake, did not start, and that was a bit of a surprise because he was a main player, really, talked upon in the preview. But again, that's something that they had an injury, I believe, so they had to make the change. Shout out to Malmo, of course. They had their crowd, full house, yes, full house crowd back after a couple of years, I believe. So yes, props to the crowd, and they were great, fantastic throughout the game, I would say, like simply put, right? But yes, before actually the game started, obviously we spoke about our defense being so solid. Yes, moreover, I think if we kind of eliminate that West Brom game, of course, the last season West Brom game where we conceded 5 goals, I think we had only conceded 18 in 45 games under Thomas Tuchel. Awesome record, that is awesome, simply put, right? But again, getting into the game, we started the game quite brightly, I would say. Had most of the ball and went forward. A lot of forward passes were coming across. In fact, in the very, I think, 9th minute was it, that Ziyech had a brilliant touch and then had a great turn as well. And I think finally, if I'm not wrong, he passed the ball to Alonso, and it was a bit long than what he should have probably passed as. But again, Alonso missed it. But the ball kind of came back to Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who surprisingly kind of decided to pass back, and that pass back was actually feeble. If not for Mendy coming, running, I think that would have been an early chance for Malmo. But again, not of a really scare, but yes, very less chances Malmo had. So I thought, let me figure that out and at least, let you know what happened. But then, as in again, we had a lot of possession of the ball. It was more across midfield, and of course, one thing that I noticed in the first half is we were attacking more on the right hand side. So Ziyech was coming into play a lot along with Azpilicueta, and there was hardly Alonso featuring, and I'll tell you why later on. But I think Callum Hudson-Odoi did not really feature much in that first half. Even if he did, he kind of passed the ball back and rotated back to midfield and then the right wing. So that was not on. Callum Hudson-Odoi, the few chances he had, probably should have taken his man a little bit more. And Alonso coming to him. Now, in the first half, Alonso, he was playing like a central attacking midfielder. like he was missing. I'm sure it was pretty much a tactic because Malmo was expected to play five at the back. So, to kind of negate that, we wanted one more extra man in attacking midfield and obviously adds an attacker as well. So he was kind of, touching the ball, passing it to Hudson-Odoi if he got it, and then moving on to central attacking midfield role, and actually had a few good headers as well, but that's about it. In the first half, Alonso also should have done a little bit more. Having said that, in the 18th minute, Kai should have got a penalty. Yes, Kai Havertz, in my opinion, should have got a penalty. I didn't watch enough of that, but that was just me. As in, you might be saying that I'm biased towards Chelsea, but honestly, a team like Real Madrid, PSG, even Bayern Munich, Manchester United over the years, because of the aura, because of the stadium, because of the managers over the years, they get such soft penalties. And I'm being controversial here, but the fact is, Chelsea players also need to kind of do more. They need to kind of appeal more, be more agitated at such decisions. That decision was not even looked at again. Like, at least they didn't show it on TV or on the stream that I was watching. Like, Kai Havertz, basically, I think it was a throw in, and he actually took the ball, controlled it very well of a high throw in, and brought it down. And clearly, he was tripped for me. He was clearly tripped. It was a very kind of, as an schoolboy error kind of thing, and it was just a moment, but that moment was enough for me. As in, Kai Havertz obviously went down, and that's how strikers are told. And this is modern age, this is a fact, but it wasn't even looked at. Again, do comment below. What do you think? I know it was a very minor episode in the game, and even the commentators on the channel that I was watching did not even highlight that enough. For me, I just saw it a couple of times, and for me, both the times it was a penalty, a soft one at that, but was a penalty. But again, I might be, of a different view than you. Do comment below. But yes, we did not get that, and then what happened? Alonso, well, he got easily barged. Like one of the times, it was around the 25th minute, I think. He got easily barged, and then they had a shout for a penalty. Yes, Malmo had a shout for a penalty, but clearly not a penalty. Again, very kind of easy if that would have been given. But yeah, you might say that it cancels out. No, I think Chelsea's was more clear than Malmo's appeal. But again, that's just me, right? Again, but yeah, as in that move kind of started with Aspilicueta passing it back, I think, to Mendy, and it was a very strong kind of back pass, which Mendy obviously had to kind of move right, and then he couldn't kind of touch get a touch, so he just kicked it out, and it was a throw in, out of which basically on the other side they started attacking, and then Alonso got barged, and they got a penalty shot, but no, not a penalty for me. Clearly one, as in no barging back there by Chelsea. But yes, I think on the 28th minute, just a couple of minutes down the line, as in we should have scored. Kai Havertz, yes, Kai Havertz in this game, I would say he could have had a brace on his day. Like, definitely, he should have probably had a brace, is what I would like to say, right? Because that one move was awesome. It was basically Callum Hudson-Odoi to Jorginho, who was again kind of quiet in the game, but again, this moment was fantastic. Who had a great pass to Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Loftus-Cheek actually put the ball through to Kai Havertz, and Kai Havertz, I think, took too much time. Similar to the Champions League final goal, probably he tried, or maybe the first leg even, like against Malmo when he scored. Remember, he tried to basically, I think, chip the ball, and by that time, I think the defender of Malmo, central defender, was very good in this game. Actually kind of got a challenge in, and because of which it was too late, and we didn't get the goal. But for me, yeah, that probably should have been a goal, or at least an effort on target, right? But talking about efforts on target, I think that first half alone, I know it was just half an hour as we speak, but we got, I think, around 15 shots. Yes, 15 attempts, and 7 more on target. So we dominated. As in, I would not like to criticize for the sake of it. Definitely we dominated, and we'll come to details again later on. But yeah, as in the 36th minute, yes, in the 36th minute, I think Ziyech, now he had a call for a red card of the opposition. Now again, that was again very soft for me. Ziyech should have been stronger. He was the last man. Yes, I think it was a mistake by a Malmo player, because of which the ball kind of rebounded and went to Ziyech, as in it was by chance. Ziyech literally near the half line mark. Yes, and he was the last man, but he chose to go down instead of just going for the ball. referee said it's too soft, and rightly so. This time I would not like to be biased. If you think so, I was, but yeah, then that's what it was. And then in the 40th minute, yes, 40th minute is when we kind of really turned up, and we got a couple of nice crosses. I think first of Aspilicueta of the right, and then Ziyech of the right again. And but I would say again, throughout the first half, Malmo defended very well. The central defenders was awesome. I think really good defending. I have to give them there. But in the very last minute of first half, it was basically Malmo getting a chance. I think their first real chance, if I have to say. And Chelsea defenders were literally sleeping, and there was a through ball of the top, and Malmo striker was almost there. Luckily, he shot it wide, and Mendy was wild. By the way, Mendy at that point, I think it was basically, I think 7.5 hours since he had conceded in all competitions. So you can understand him being wild, right? Obviously, in the Champions League, Mendy, including this one now, has I think 13 clean sheets in the last 17 games. Wow, fantastic record, world class, easily. But anyway, talking about the first half overall, I would say the standout player, if any, not really. I would say it was more like a mixed performance by everyone. But Callum Hudson-Odoi was almost missing. It was more about the team not opting to play much on the left hand side for some weird reason. And whenever he got the ball, he kind of gave it away, like I said. But again, that is all. And Alonso again on the left hand side. These were two underwhelming kind of performances, or it's more because of the team. I would not like to blame only the individuals here. Second half saw the change. Yes, I was calling for basically this game requires a Pulisic to open things up a little bit more, because yes, Kai Havertz had those chances, but again, not really, as in I would say not babysitters. I would say definitely there were chances of Kai Havertz level. Probably should have done better. But Callum Hudson-Odoi moved to the right. Hakim Ziyech came to the left hand side. Interesting change there, right? I was thinking. But in, I think, the 50th minute around, right? Malmo get their first corner. Yes, first corner of the game, Malmo got finally in the 50th minute, and it was Alonso again, easily beaten. Alonso had a bad game, like for me. I know he did make some good runs in that central attacking midfielder role, but on the left wing back, what his actual role was, he didn't have a good game. He was actually beaten by a Malmo player a couple of times, right? Easily beaten, and so did Ziyech. Actually, again, Ziyech was weak. Again, overall, his game was much better than recent games, but his strength was not quite there until this point, because I think 53rd minute is when Hakim Ziyech had a wonderful kind of a play, because he actually beat his man. Great dribbling of the right hand side, something that we have not seen much of Ziyech lately. Awesome, that was awesome dribbling on the right hand side. And then I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek was past the ball, and he had a similar dribble again off of the right almost, and then I think he took a shot which the Malmo goalkeeper saved. By the way, coming to Malmo goalkeeper, I don't know what was about him. He did keep well overall, and they defended well as a team as well. But I think shots on target, he was kind of spilling them again and again. So I don't know. Timo Werner being there could have made a difference, with the rebounds. Just putting it out there, right? But again, I think Aspilicueta in the second half now, by the 50th minute, we were seeing him moving into central attacking midfielder role, and he had a couple of nice crosses as well. So we were really getting into the game and making much more chances in terms of clear chances now, as in taking people on and so forth by the 55th minute. And that is when we got a breakthrough. It was a combination play of Callum Hudson-Odoi and Kai Havertz. For some reason, the commentators, were just praising Callum Hudson-Odoi. Kai Havertz, awesome play there. Awesome. He actually, really came back, tracked back, and actually was there for Callum Hudson-Odoi. And that is where the 1-2 could have been played. And he was really, I think, almost defended off two, players of Malmo, right? So he did well to play that 1-2. And Callum Hudson-Odoi, wow, hats off. What a cross. Brilliant cross. Brilliant cross. I think brilliantly timed and perfectly placed as well to Hakim Ziyech on the left hand side. And that is why Hakim Ziyech is in the team. He is a finisher. Mark my words. He scored it easily. I know it was an easy goal, but definitely he was there when it required for someone to be there. And again, I'm not sure if Callum Hudson-Odoi would have played on the left hand side, the same thing would have been done. I know I'm making a controversial statement here, but for me, that's how I think really. So that move by Tuchel and the management, moving Hudson-Odoi to right and Hakim Ziyech to the left, actually worked. And a lot of people say that Callum Hudson-Odoi's favorite position on the left wing side. But I think in the second half, he had a fantastic second half. And he was on the right side. It's all in the mind. Trust me, it's all in the mind. The guy has played very well on the right hand side as well under Sarri. Hazard wouldn't move to the right then. So definitely this guy has performed very well. It is just in the mind. I know that's a natural position, but it's not like he cannot play. Even as right wing back, he got into similar positions on the field, but it was in the mind, is what I think. But again, I might be wrong, but great play. I have to give him there, great cross. And of course, after that, it was more about us managing the game really, as in we were in second or third gear, not really, beyond that, and it was us not getting injuries. Of course, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I would like to say, don't want to criticize too much, but he lost the ball a couple of times. Maybe it's him not starting games so often, and obviously coming back from injury kind of is one of the reasons. But overall, he had a decent game as well, especially the second half. So I would like to say that definitely Ruben Loftus-Cheek works in our midfield, hands down. For me, it really works. If he gets into form and fitness, I think he is the guy for us moving forward. Again, that's just a big call again. But it was almost 67th, 68th minute, and I was thinking, hey, no changes at all. That was strange because I think it was Malmo. I know it was 1-0 and we shouldn't have taken a lot of chances, but I think we could have probably made a change or two before the 70th minute. But then finally a change came, I think, in the 74th minute, and it was obviously Hakim Ziyech coming off because he's not started many games, and Hudson-Odoi as well. So both of them came off, and Barkley and Pulisic, Captain America, was there, and this was fantastic to see. It's been such a long time, and hats off to the management to be so patient, and Pulisic coming on the pitch was really good. By the way, before they came on, there was actually a midfielder in Malmo I didn't mention about. His name was Innocent. He wasn't so innocent, I must say. The guy wasn't innocent. He was having, making those tackles, left, right, center. He was having a WWE match or something like that. At times, especially with Loftus-Cheek. Come on, Loftus-Cheek is huge, man. Innocent. You better stay innocent, is what I was saying. I think, if I'm not wrong, each of them were booked as well. But anyway, that was something, funny that I thought I'd just share. But yes, beyond that, I think it was more about, again, just managing the game really in second or third gear, not beyond that. And I think we should have scored again, definitely. And Kai Havertz again. Again, he took a lot of time. He controls the ball well, I think very well, in fact. And I think it was a pass from over the top by Azpilicueta. It was a combination of Azpilicueta and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Kai Havertz kind of getting the ball. But again, too much time that he took, and I think, by then the goalkeeper was there. And I think by then, I think it was around the 88th minute, yes. And we had around 10 shots on target. So it's not like, we were not dominating, we were dominating, but those chances that Kai Havertz had, I think one of them at least should have been buried. And then another chance in the very last minute of the game almost. Pulisic, who in fact had a couple of good moments with Barkley, I must give him that, right? Barkley and Pulisic had a couple of good moments together, passing, I think, a good couple of through balls that Barkley got and Pulisic controlled well. But this last effort that Pulisic had, again, comment below, was it offside? Kai Havertz, I think it was, who kind of headed the ball, glanced it to Pulisic, a running Pulisic, and it was only Pulisic, and he missed it. It was wide of the target. I think he probably took the ball away with his first touch, but yeah, he still should have at least, worked the goalkeeper or worked the goal or scored even, right? But again, that's me. I hope you like it because we won the game 1-0 away to Malmo, and we are at 9 points. For me, the man of the match was definitely Kai Havertz. Do you think so? No. If he had taken his chance, then probably yes. So I'll have a rethink, and the goal scorer, it is Hakim Ziyech. Yes, Hakim Ziyech for me was the goal scorer, and I would give to him. Of course, the defense were great as well, and that's why we keep a clean sheet again. So Rudiger, I think kudos to him. Props to even Azpilicueta playing on the wing, and as an attacking midfielder at times. Great crosses he had, but I think I'll give it to Hakim Ziyech. In the 70 odd minutes that he played, I think he did just about enough, but it was between Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Rudiger and Azpilicueta, but that's just me. Comment below, what do you think? Who was the player of the match for you? Again, I'm not really looked at the official player of the match, but if you know, do comment below, and waiting for the Juventus result as we speak. Till then, take care, It is Almighty Blues FC, and we'll be back with more content. Smash that like and subscribe. Take care, guys.